Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Can everyone see me? Let me fix this over here. I got my daughter's little thing showing. Can everyone see me? Hello. If you can see me and hear me, I never know if I'm doing it right. So if you can see me and hear me, give me a thumbs up here. I see Van Life with Gina is in the house. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello. Van Life with Gina is in here. Hi, Lisa D. Delights. Hey, Fee. Oh, Fee had some exciting news. I don't know if you want me to share it or not, but that is so exciting. Hey, Nora from Arcuda 2001. Hello, hello. Hi, Matilda. How are you? Another swinging Saturday night. That's right. Another swinging Saturday night. The egg and I see you. Okay. Can you can see me and hear me? Okay. All right, everyone. Hello, Delphine Bowles. Welcome. Nomad News. Okay, Nomad News. There's Rav. Rav is my special guest. I'm gonna hit an invite for him as soon as I let me go ahead and do the invite so Rav can go on into the basement. Now, you guys know how I always pop us out. So if I pop myself out for a minute, let me try and do an invite for Rav, copy it to the clipboard. Let's see. Okay, let me get it on here, copied and paste. And there it is. It is up. Woohoo! Rav, you don't know. That's just for you. You don't know how hard I have time doing that. A Daisy Chain 5. Hi, a Daisy Chain 5. I don't remember you being here. Were you being here before? Are you new? Every new person in the live today, could you put a in for new? Because I want to acknowledge all my new people. Hello, Van Life with Gina. Rosita Garcia from Oxnard, California. Oh, wow. You're up there near the beautiful area of Oxnard. Fee Loot Yell. Hello, Carol from a new homestead. Okay, I guess I can spill the tea. Fee has a new homestead. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I got to go up and video up there. Everyone is saying hello. Melinda Rose, I see and hear you just fine. Thank you. Thank you guys for letting me know, because you know how I am on this. Lisa Beckerman. Hi, Aunt Nora. Is Nora your aunt? Oh, what a wonderful, talented, beautiful aunt you have, Liza. I'm sorry, I said Lisa, I meant Liza. Liza, what a wonderful aunt. Got it, Nomad? Okay, so hit it, and I'll bring you up in a couple of minutes. Van Life with Gina saying hello to Rob. I don't know if any of you have seen Rob, but he does Nomad News. So he has a studio. He knows he's done production and the whole thing. But the other thing is he's a nomad. He has been a nomad for a number of years. So we're gonna talk about some boondocking things, tips on staying safe as a nomad from someone who's been doing it in an urban setting most of the time. He's traveled around a lot, but most of the time he's done it in an urban setting. So we're going to get some really good pointers from him today. Rosita Garcia is new. Welcome, Rosita. I'm so glad to see you in the house. Where are you hailing from? Are you from out of state? Where are you from? Jill Weatherly. Hi, Jill says hi to Glow. Aretha Johnson, new from Connecticut. Hello, Aretha. I've been to Connecticut. Oh, my goodness. Kathleen Klein says hi. Says, Rav Nomad News, enjoy the snacks in the green room. Carol's a good cook. I should have some snacks on here for you, shouldn't I? Maybe next time. That's a good idea, Kathleen. Van Life with Gina saying hi. Hello to Rosita. Liza Beckerman says, homestead, nice. I'm jealous. Fee, do you want to come up and tell us about your homestead, or are you a little shy? But I'm either way, I'm going to go out and visit the homestead because I'm jealous too. I'm jealous, but I'm happy. I'm so happy for my friend Fee. Kristen Smith is saying hello. Hello, Kristen. Kenneth Bailey says, love you, my favorite lady. Thank you, Kenneth. I love you too. Thank you so much. Hey, Chef Santa, Cooking Travels. Hello, folks. Hello, sweet lady. Hello, Chef Santa. We need to do some cooking together, Chef Santa. You've got some good... Chef Santa, I tell you, Chef Santa and Lisa D's Delights. Oh, my goodness. Got some good cooks in the house here. Stella's got it, Al. Hello, I made it to the live. Yes. So glad you're here, Stella's. So glad. Kathleen says, saying hi. Everyone is saying hello. Nomad News saying hi. Matilda McIntyre, heart to you. Ah, that's so sweet. Donna Davy is saying, new to your live, but I watch a lot of your videos and love them. Oh, I'm so glad that you came and joined our little family on Saturdays. We have lively chats, fun chats. Everyone is, I say it over and over, and I don't care what other YouTubers say. I have got the best family, YouTube family on YouTube. And I'll duke it out with anyone who says anything different. Who else is? Oh, Rayleigh Creative Travel. Hi, Rayleigh. How are you? Welcome. Oh, Piedmont Win. You know I always mess this up. Piedmont Penguin. Okay. Piedmont Penguin. Now that's a mouthful, but I think I got it right. Hello, Piedmont Penguin. Everyone's saying hello. Kathleen saying hi to Blaine at Rayleigh. Hey, Fee Lute says no thanks. Okay. All right, Fee, I understand, but I'm going to get you on a video at your homestead. Diane Kachovich says, I hope I said it right, Diane. Hello, beautiful lady. You rock the royal blue top, hon. You are glowing. Thank you. You guys make me glow. When my Saturday lives with you are they're really a highlight for my week. Oh, TAG says hi. Hello, TAG. Everyone's saying hello. Piedmont Penguin says, I was finally able to catch you live. I am so glad you were. I'm so glad you were. Stella's got it, says, I'm sending you love too. Sending love to you, Stella. Matilda is saying, love being a Globie. I love you. You are one of my OGs, my original, not original gangsters, original Globie. Hey, we got a new term here, OG. We're replacing it with original Globie. Yes. Piedmont Penguin says, I've been going to festivals. Oh, have you been going to van festivals or other kind of festivals? I am. Someone asked me last week if I was going to gut it, and I said no, because I was actually going to try and make it out to Asheville. But you know what? I decided I'm going to go to gut it. Who was that asked me last week? Are you on? I forget who it was that asked me. I'll have to go back and check. But I think I'm going to, well, actually, I have my reservation. So, yes, I'm going to make it to Gut It. So if anyone's going to Gut It, I hope to see you there. Stop by and say hello. Please do. Lisa says, another fabulous hat. Why do I keep calling you Lisa? Liza, I'm sorry. Liza. Liza says, another fabulous hat. Thank you, Liza. Aunt Jody. Hello, Aunt Jody. Welcome, welcome with a kiss. Welcome. What do they say? Greet everyone with a holy kiss. So welcome, Aunt Jody. Matilda loves the hat. Love. Oh, love that. Oh, William Jenkins. Hello, William Jenkins says, hello, young lady, like the hat. Well, I guess I am a young lady if someone is 90. That's the only way I'm young. But I feel, you know what? I feel young. I don't feel my age, but when I get ready to do something that's 30 years younger, that's when I feel my age. But when I just am sitting, I feel like a spring chicken. But anyhow, the Lisa Delight Show says hi to everyone. Lisa, what's cooking this week? Can you tell us what's cooking this week? Lisa, go over and check Lisa D. She has a fabulous cooking show. The food looks as good as it tastes. Her presentation is amazing. She puts me to shame. I look like, the Beverly Hillbillies threw something together, but it tastes good. Mine does taste good, but hers looks good too. Oh, music festivals. So Piedmont Penguin has been going to music festivals. Very cool. Piedmont Penguin says, I pray the festivals won't be shut down. I pray the same, Piedmont, because I'm telling you, I don't know how many rounds of shutdowns we can take. I don't know how many more we have in us to take, but we're a resilient bunch, and I guess we can always come on Saturday lives, and maybe I could do more lives, but We are truly some strong folks in this country, aren't we? We've been through the mill and we're still standing. So Liza says, laughing out loud, that's okay. Everyone says Lisa at first. I'm going to make it my point, Liza, to say Liza, Liza, Liza. I'll practice it before I even come on here. Liza, Liza. So I will get it right. Kenneth Bailey says, even if you're having the worst time, you would still make our hearts sing. Kenneth, you have a golden tongue. I tell you, you just, oh my goodness, Kenneth, you're making my heart sing now. Matilda says, Carol, I know Lollapalooza is all fun, but where is it? Wondering if there's a wait list. Lollapalooza is going to be in Texas in Alma. I'll have to look it up, but it's going to be in Texas. And Alma Rosa, I'll look it up, but it's in Texas. And I don't know about the way. I know as far as some spots, I know in what they call the wagon wheel, that's filled up, and a lot of the other spots are filled up. But if you go on to the Texas Parks website, that's where you can check and see if it's filled up, or you can also, they have a phone number you can call. And if I can find it before the end of this show, I'll tell you, because I don't know how to post it. But Mary Montano says, love you, driving back from an 18-day trip to the West National Parks. Which parks did you go to, Mary? Oh my goodness. Oh, that sounds like a wonderful fun. Oh, Lisa D. Delights, you're doing the Mexican street corn full recipe. Oh my goodness, the elote. Oh, that is so good. I tell you what, we were so hungry coming through the border one time from Mexico. They were selling it. When you come through, a lot of people come selling stuff on the streets, just walking by your cars. And we bought some and ate it, and it was so good. And I've been making it, and oh my goodness. Piedmont Penguin. I'm a junk food junkie. I know the feeling, Piedmont. I know. 3 Generations. Hello, 3 Generations. How are you doing? She's saying, 3 Generations is saying hello to everyone. Nomad News says mandatory masks just went back into effect in LA County. I saw that on the news the other day, Rob. I saw that. When you come up, we'll talk about that too. Diane is saying Australia completely shut down yesterday. Everything. Holy moly. Anything you want to do, we better hurry up and do it before everything shuts down. I sure hope the park in Texas doesn't shut down, or the one in Colorado for the gutted festival. Oh my goodness. Hey, Nora, big smiles here. Abilene, thank you, Kathleen Klein. Abilene, Texas, Matilda, it's Abilene, Texas for Lollapalooza. 3 Generations says, remember the song Liza with Z, not Liza with an S, Liza Minnelli. Yes, I love Liza Minnelli. Anna Gork says, hello from Milwaukee. Hi from Milwaukee. Welcome. I have never been to Milwaukee, but I love to make it. Hi, Traveling Conservatively. How are you doing? Traveling Conservatively says, hello, Miss Carol. My goodness, where do you get your energy from? Well, I have a ADHD child. So in order to keep up, I have to take my vitamins. I'm the guy who kicked Bluebell to the curb for your homemade ice cream. I remember you. I do remember that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Piedmont says, I made applesauce cakes. Ooh, that sounds good, Piedmont. I love applesauce cakes. Matilda says, thanks in for information. Yes. Thank you, Kathleen, for the information. Piedmont, I saw that too. Kathleen Klein says, that's where I heard it was being held. I think over at Blind Views. Yeah, it is. It's in Abilene, Texas. It is. You're right, Kathleen. Cindy Des says, when will you be having a meetup, Gloria? Everyone calls me Gloria. It's Carol, but you can call me Gloria just for you, Cindy. I don't mind at all. Everyone, because of the name, calls me that. So more people don't call me that than Carol. Just now joined the live. Woohoo, I made it. Welcome, Cindy. I'm so glad you're here. I'm planning on having a live in January. A meetup in January at, I don't know where yet. I'm looking at having, I don't want to conflict with the RTR if Bob Wells is having the RTR. So I'm thinking I might have it The day after the RTR ends, if they're having the RTR, is when I'm going to plan it. That's when I've been announcing. But I will also love to meet up with people if you can make it to Lollapalooza or the Gutted. We'll talk about the Gutted here. And but January is when I'm planning to do it in Quartzsite, Arizona. Nomad News says nothing will shut down in Texas. You're probably right. You're probably right. Texas and Florida, nothing shut down. 11:59 says, hi, Carol, beautiful colors on your skin tone. Thank you. Yeah, blue. I love blue. I love blue and hot pink. Mary went to Zion, Bryce, White Sands, Seguro. Wow. Was at Monument Valley and Lake Powell. Wow. You really made the rounds. I've been to all of those except for I haven't been to Monument Valley. Well, no, I have. I take it back. I haven't been to Seguro. Seguro. Is that how you said? In fact, I have a video on White Sands. The day I went one day and it was beautiful. But it was almost closing. And they said, well, it takes a long time. Why don't you come back tomorrow? So I came back the next day and it was snowing. Oh, Tamaya Spirit says, hello from Oceanside. Thank you for your last video on window from Oceanside. Oh, we'll have to meet up for lunch or something. It's because I'm always in that area. Hit me up on gloriouslife@gmail.com. gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com. Piedmont says, I might volunteer at the parks too. They need cleanup people. Yes, absolutely. Kathleen Klein says, nothing will shut down in South Dakota either. Didn't the first time. Sturgis is getting close. Oh, yeah, Sturgis. So they'll be having Sturgis again. Oh, I remember that. Diane says, my younger sister lives in Texas. Haven't seen her since the outbreak. Wow, that must really be hard. Piedmont says, my mom's name is Gloria. Well, hey, Gloria is a cool name. You can't beat Gloria for a name, so I don't mind being called Gloria. Piedmont says, what is RTR? RTR is it's called the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, and it's a big, huge van gathering that Bob Wells usually has in Quartzsite every year. I think the last time that they had it, where it was at a regular place, which is in 2019. They had it in 2020, but it was changed to somewhere else. But thousands, and I mean thousands and thousands, over 8,000 showed up. So it's, people you have where people show their vans, and it's just basically a big giant party where everyone comes and has fun. But if you go on YouTube and put Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, you'll probably get some videos that will show it, Piedmont. Cindy Des says, Carol, I plan on being there. Which one are you going to be at, Cindy? Are you going to be at Lollapalooza, Gutted, or in Quartzsite? Let me know. Nomad News says, Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, right. Matilda McIntyre says, I think your meetup should have a big cooking lesson. You know what? That's a good idea, Matilda. Why didn't I think of that? I tell you what, I need you guys for extra brains. Thank you, Matilda. Great idea. Have a list of ingredients needed, supplies needed. It would be so fun. I should do something. I'll have to consult with you, Matilda, because you have great ideas. Yes, I should do something cooking related. Maybe I'll do two meetups. One day there'll be something cooking related, and one day just to meet and say hi, meet and greet. Another day, maybe something cooking. Hey, Des Rat says, Carol, what's up, Doc? What's up with you, Des? You tell me. Welcome, though. Welcome. Piedmont says motorcycles. Yeah, on Sturgis, motorcycles. Lisa D is sending some love. I haven't been to Sturgis since 96, says Nomad News. Well, you beat me because I've never been there. Guys, I may miss some of your comments because I'm going to go over and pull up Rav from Nomad News. I don't want the hour to go by and him not come up. He's the guest. So I'm going to go over here, pull him up, and then I'll come back. So if you made a comment and I miss it, put it back and I'll try and get it. But I don't, multitask very well. So if I'm talking to Rob, I'm going to miss some of your comments, but I'll try and come back and pick some up. Hey, welcome to the house. Welcome to the Glowmobile.
Thanks for having me so much, Carol.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You have a channel. First of all, tell us about your channel.
So my channel, it's called Nomad News. It's basically, I just kind of cover the nomads and what's going on. I've been following the nomads since my buddy Randy Prim started his channel Road Bandit back in 2008. So he's the one that kind of...
Aren't you all, excuse me for cutting you off, but aren't you also good friends with the bread truck?
Yeah, Paul Barger. He's one of my good buddies.
Yeah,
the bread trucker.
So you have been a nomad for quite a while. You want to tell us how long?
I moved. I had a house out in Joshua Tree, so that was my home base. So I had a home base for several years, but since about 2015 and then 2016, I moved out of my house permanently and moved into my B+ camper van. And when I bought my camper and I had my home base in Joshua Tree, I was still working in LA, even though I was living in Joshua Tree. So that's why I invested in an RV. So I've worked in the entertainment industry and in film and TV industry since 2009. So I would come, if I was working on a TV show, like in 2012, I worked on the TV show, American Crime Story, The People versus O.J. Simpson. So it took us about 3 months to shoot that show. So I would travel out from my house in Joshua Tree and just stay in LA in my RV during that time. And that's how I kind of learned the ropes. And back in those days, there was a guy who now he just has a solar channel. He just teaches solar, but there was a guy named Will Prowse. And
yeah,
Will
Will.
Prowse, yeah, I know Will. So Will was probably the best nomad to learn from for urban dwelling. So that he was kind of the one that kind of showed me the ropes of how to dwell in LA in an RV.
Now you were telling me when we were talking earlier that things started to change a couple years ago and you had to make an adjustment because of that. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I saw the writing on the wall because for 2 or 3 years, I had no problems traveling around in my little camper van, and I kept it very nice and tidy. And my advice there is, like I was telling you earlier, is if you're city dwelling, especially in Southern California, just pretend you are a tourist. And that way, because there's a lot of people that come into Southern California as tourists in RVs. You see the rented RVs, Travel USA, you see those rented RVs all the time. You see them out in Joshua Tree, you see them all the way down to San Diego, all the way up to San Francisco. So sometimes if you look like a traveler, the police won't even approach you. But if they think you're permanent, they will approach you. But if you just look like a tourist, they won't even mess with you. So when I was van dwelling in my camper, I tried to present myself where I look like more of a tourist than I did like a local, if that makes sense.
Okay. Now, what are some of the things that you did that made you look like a tourist?
Dressing a little bit differently. Instead of dressing like the typical Southern California look, I know how I'm originally from Texas. So a lot of times I would wear more of a Texas look. Sometimes I'd wear like a cowboy hat, you know what I mean? Which is something you don't see in LA at all. And like I told you earlier, I still own a house in Texas. So I still have a Texas driver's license. So if a cop did ask for my license, I showed him a Texas license, they immediately dismissed me as a van dweller or an LA van dweller.
But now that's something that people who live here and don't have another residence can't do, because in California, you've got to get a California license. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have another residence out of state, I can't offer advice on that, but you can't, if you have another out of state residence, and you actually do spend some time there. But one of the things you were saying is how they started cracking down, and you decided a couple of years ago that they were just making it so hard that you needed to get into something that you wouldn't get as hassled in. And what did you decide to go into?
So if you look back at my channel, my old Vagabond Days channel, I had a really beautiful little vintage camper van. It was a one of a kind. There's not another one on the planet like it. It was original. So you can't find them. It wasn't a mass produced van. And it was perfect for me. Had a shower in it, had everything, stand-up shower, dry bathroom. But I could see that it was going to become impossible to be in that RV and not continuously get hassled. So I started looking when I went to RTR in 2018 or 2018. My buddy Paul Barger was there in his bread truck, which is a step van. It's like an older, like a UPS type truck. It's a step van. and we were all standing in his step van, and I was there in my camper van, and we were standing in his step van, and I looked around, and it was myself, it was Paul, and Vicari, Chelsea Vicari. I don't know if you know who she is. She was a big van life YouTuber at that time. It was Chelsea Vicari. It was the Van Life Sheldons, who's a couple. So there was literally like 8 nomads, and we were all standing around in Paul Barker's step van, and the light just clicked. I went, this thing is so much bigger. It's like the exact same length as my camper, but it's so much bigger. And then looking at it, I was like, nobody would pay this thing any attention. And then Paul Barker made a post one night when he was in Florida, because he's originally from Florida, and he was traveling from Florida out to Arizona to Quartzsite for RTR.
Right.
And I was keeping up with his journey because we were going to be rendezvousing there, meeting there, right? And I hadn't met him yet at that time. So I was keeping up when he was going to hit RTR because I wanted to go over to Step Van Row and meet him. So I'm watching him, and one of his posts on Instagram, he literally shows he pulled up into some business, like some warehouse business, and he parked his step van right in the middle of all of their own company trucks, all of their step vans that they owned at this company. So he wasn't part of their company, but he pulled his truck right into their parking lot and parked overnight in between all of their trucks. And the light clicked. I went, I need a commercial step van that's perfect. And so I started looking from that point on and found a retired Snap-on truck down in, Santa Vista, Arizona. Can't remember the name of the town, but it's way down in South Arizona, down by the border. Sierra Vista, Arizona. And I jumped on an airplane, flew down there to look at it, bought it, paid cash for it, and drove it back to Los Angeles. And I've been in that and sold my camper van.
So you're finding that having a commercial vehicle, you don't get hassled because you just look like a...
I can park anywhere. Like when I go down to San Diego, I have a picture I could post on my Instagram. When I went down to San Diego I think it's on my Instagram, American Nomad _. Okay. So I was down in San Diego. I was driving around looking for a decent place to street park. There was no place that I felt comfortable because it was a lot of traffic zipping by. So I was driving around and I looked and I'm like, oh, there's a Pep Boys right there. And I pulled into the Pep Boys. They were closing. I just parked right in front of their door. And then I was sitting there in front of the Pep Boys door, and about 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon or in the morning, 2 police officers pulled into the parking lot, and they were sitting right there beside my step van talking to each other. They were having like a communication. They weren't talking about me. They just pulled into that parking lot because it was vacant, and they didn't know I was in my step van. So they're literally parked right beside me with their windows down, having an early morning conversation between themselves. And I'm sitting there listening to them through the wall.
So what you're saying is when you have a commercial looking vehicle or what's typically a commercial vehicle, you look like you're just a delivery truck and you're just there waiting for either delivery or you're parked outside the vehicle, the business. So you're finding that as big as it is, it's very stealth because of
nobody even pays any attention to it. And because it's a step van, there's no windows in the box. Right. So with no windows in the box, there's no windows to cover up, because it doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you have. If you have a commercial vehicle, like the girl that you did the lady that you did her little van.
Yeah. Just recently did a Debbie's van.
Debbie's van. Yeah. Debbie's van. Yeah. That's a perfect little urban dwelling vehicle. But if she had got the cargo version, the one that doesn't have all the windows, because as soon as you cover up your windows with Reflectix, you're completely giving yourself away, because there's so many people now that are urban dwelling in vehicles that even if you're in a car, if you're just in like a Nissan Maxima and you cover all your windows up, people know automatically that you're living in that car, because it's not something that the everyday person does. They might cover the front windshield up, but they don't cover all the windows up.
What I suggest is, especially at night, I don't put Reflectix up. Well, I put Reflectix up, but it's covered. Either I put a black curtain up, or I put Reflectix that is covered in a black curtain. Because
Material.
when you put that up in the window, it just looks like you've got darkened windows.
Yeah, it looks like
so
tent.
that's what I
So
suggest.
do you know who a Hobo Alley is?
Yeah, I do.
So Hobo Alley about 5 years ago did a video on how you could cover your Reflectix in like a sheen black material. It almost looked like a pantyhose. And you just go to Home Depot and you get a spray adhesive, and you literally just spray the adhesive on your Reflectix and then cut that sheer material out and glue it to your Reflectix. So when you put your Reflectix in the window, it just looks like you have tinted windows. If you stepped outside her van, you could not tell that it was Reflectix.
You know who else does a really, really good video is PSC Camper Conversions, I think it's called. He did a window covers that it was like a sandwich. It had on the inside, it had Reflectix, and you know that kind of plastic that has holes going on the top. It's like a corrugated looking. He had Reflectix. First, he had fabric, Reflectix, that filler corrugated kind of material, then another sandwich of Reflectix, and then he had it covered up, all of it with fabric, and they did the spray, so you don't have to do any sewing or anything, and that's really super insulation. Plus you don't like you said, for those of you who are looking into getting into doing van life or any other kind of mobile life, Reflectix, that silver in your window, especially all the way around, is just a telltale sign, like Rob is saying. Now, you've been doing it for this many years, so now you have a little office, and you're in a commercial center. Is that what it is in?
Yeah, that's kind of my little secret. I've thought about doing a YouTube video on it, like how I live in Los Angeles for less than $1,000 a month.
But you might not want to.
Yeah, it's kind of something I just kind of stumbled onto. I didn't really expect it. I actually had a job before the pandemic. Right when the pandemic hit, I was working for a company called SVO Enterprises, and it was a garment manufacturer.
Okay.
So I did all the photography, and I was the creative director for the company. So it was basically, we did leggings, women's leggings, high-end leggings. We did different garments. And so I did all the photography. So I had the photography studio inside the warehouse, the company. So that's where I did all of my YouTube stuff, was from my office. And when I wasn't actually working for the company, I could use the space for anything I wanted to, right? So I had my own 1,200 square foot studio. But I lived in my truck. I couldn't be in my studio all night. I had to be out of there like 10:30, 11 o'clock was as late as I could stay. And then I would go there was a park right next door to our place. So I would just park on the street where the park was. And then I would just walk back and forth to my truck. And being in a Snap-on truck, I was literally in the Florence Graham area, which is the worst. I don't suggest anybody buy a Snap-on truck unless you're looking at getting it rewrapped. It's a perfect stealth vehicle, but usually a Snap-on truck holds about $500,000 worth of tools. So it can be a huge, to be broken into. People, could target it to break into it. So if I had it to do over again, I probably wouldn't have bought a Snap-on truck unless I was looking to paint it or wrap it. And I've looked at getting it wrapped, and it's like $10,000 to wrap it. So
one of the things I was thinking of, I at one point had thought of getting a one of those trucks, like the box trucks, but I was going to put something on it like pet sitting. I wasn't going to put anything on it like plumber or anything, because they think our computer, nothing that would look like it had anything expensive. But I figured pet sitter, what do you have in a pet sitter?
Pet groomer that think it's just a wash basin in there. Yeah.
And no one would they'd think pet sitting. We don't want to go into, we don't know what might be in there. We don't want to go what's left over. But let me say a little bit of greetings to my folks over here, and then we'll come back with Rob.
Sure.
So, Arcuda says Pep Boy. Arcuda says Pep Boy does auto repairs, oil changes. Yeah, they're just a auto repair and auto parts shop. Sue Kelly's is saying howdy. Hello, Sue. Oh, I'm tongue-tied here. Hello, Sue. How are you doing? Alex Nell says, hello, just found your channel today. Well, hello, Alex. So you in for a newbie. Welcome, a new Globie. Oh my goodness. So everyone say hi and welcome Alex. Welcome all our newbies here. Hey, Mama DW 2010. Hi. So are you on the road yet, Mama DW 2010? I know you were getting on the road. You're taking a trip, but let us know how it's going. Amy says, hello, Globies. Hello, Carol. Hi, Amy. How's it going? Everyone's saying hello. Janice Williams says, darn, almost missed this. I'm so glad I made it. I'm glad you made it too, Janice. I'm so glad. Everyone's still, Amy says, Stella. Yes, hello, Stella. What a neat experience, says Piedmont. Piedmont says, I've never heard of a Snap-on truck. Hey, must be a utility vehicle. We'll go back to Rob in a minute and he can explain. Connie McDonald says, hi, Carol, first-time viewer. Hello, Connie. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Oh, Kathleen Klein says Snap-on is a tool company. Okay, thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, that's what Rob was saying. You don't want to have anything on the outside of your vehicle if you have a box-type truck that makes it look like you have expensive tools or anything inside, because it'll get it broken into for that. Arcuda 2001 says Snap-on is a huge tool company that goes around to gas station repair shops, etc. Thank you, Nora. Amy is giving some more information about Snap-on. Everyone is saying hello to Alex. Hello, Alex. Everyone is saying hi to you, greeting you. Nomad News, saying Google Snap-on truck. That's a good idea. Janice Williams says, I'm a newer Flow as well. I have binged on so many videos. I love them. Thank you, Janice. Thank you. You know what? I'm going to do a Q&A one of these weeks coming up. I don't know if next week, but a Q&A where I have you guys ask questions and I'll try and answer them. Also, I'd like to get you guys, maybe you can do it on this show, make some suggestions as to some things you'd like me to make, or some topics you'd like me to cover, or some different types of guests. I'm trying to get the lady who's in the RAV4. I want to do a tour, because you guys last week said you'd love to see a tour of her RAV4. She said she's willing to do it, but she wants to put up curtains and things. Oh my. So she's got it, but I did look inside. She let me peek inside and it really looks nice. I thought it looked perfectly well for a tour, but she wants to put up curtains. So, okay, whatever, just so long as she lets my Globie see it. Hey, Love Grooves Japan. Someone just above made a comment, just above Love Grooves Japan. Can you come back? I went to read your comment and it disappeared. So can you come back? If I didn't acknowledge you, please come back and put another comment so I can say hello. Hi, Love Grooves Japan. I just saw that you emailed me. I haven't even opened that email. So I'm going to go back and email. I saw it had some attachments. Love Grooves Japan is in Japan. You're listening from a rest area. Love Grooves Japan is making, building out a van and using some paper type products in his van. Very cool. Very cool. Piedmont says, I'm glad you guys are educating me. Hey, Piedmont, you're learning a lot of smart people on here. Not me, but a lot of my Globies are. And Rob here. Kat Brady's is saying, hello. Hi, Kat. How is it going? Good to see you. Mama DW says, yes, I'm in Highlands, North Carolina. Dispersed camping. It is fun and quiet. Much to learn. Mama DW is a new nomader. They just bought a Class B. It's already built out, and she's going to be doing a few changes in it, but she's a newbie. So she was on a couple weeks ago. So are you going to be coming out to Quartzsite in January, Mama DW? Because I want to see, and I'm sure everyone wants to see how you're doing, how your new nomad life is going. Her and her husband, last of the kids moved out, so they've hit the road, going to be full-time nomads. Nomads News is saying hi to Love Grooves Japan. Oh yeah, Love's Groove. I'm gonna go read your email sometime today. I can't do it immediately after this because I've got to go meet Debbie because she's starting her YouTube channel and we're looking at doing a video. So Debbie from my video a couple of weeks ago. But anyhow, Nora is saying hi to Piedmont. Nora says, everyone, don't forget to leave thumbs up on the video. Thank you, Nora. I always forget to say that. I am so involved in saying hello to everyone, and that I forget to say thumbs up. And those of you, if there's anyone here who's not a Globie, come on now. You see how great these Globies are. Hit that subscribe button and become a Globie. Chef Santa Cooking Travel says, yes, we'll cook in the near future. I'm in the process of getting some things done with my camera situation. Okay, Chef, well, we'll have to do a collab together. And Lisa D, if you're still here, if you didn't have to leave, we've got to do a collab together too. Also, I just want to let you guys know, thank you. I hit 1 million views. Do you believe that? Between last week and this week, I hit over 1 million views. So thank you all. Thank you here. So Piedmont says, hi, Tar Heel. So someone's from North Carolina. Janice says, you have such great disposition and in teaching people. I just want to refer to you as mom. Hey, I only have one child, so I have room for more, Janice. I have plenty of room. So come on and join the fam. Max Bertrand says, I'm so glad I caught you. I'm a big fan. Oh, thanks, Max. I'm so glad you're here. Whoo, I think I may hit 25,000, well, by next month, because I'm almost at 23 now, and I'm going to do another big giveaway at 25. So keep watching, folks, because at 25, do you believe this? Only God and my Globies could have made this happen. So thank you so much. Piedmont says, I agree, and you, Carol, are smart too. Well, thank you, Piedmont. Thank you. Mama DW says, I sure hope so. I'd like to be full-time at the end of the year, finishing up things. Great, Mama DW. Hope to see you. Matilda is asking Nomad News, do you miss Bertha? Any seller's remorse? So Nomad News, Rob, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I answered her in the chat. No, I don't miss Bertha. Bertha was my B plus camper van. The people that follow my old Vagabond Days channel was my actually B plus camper van. A lot of people loved that camper van and couldn't believe I got rid of it. But no, I don't have any seller's remorse. The only thing is I wish I would have got what the rig was actually worth.
Well, if you were selling it now, you'd probably get double for it.
Well, I only sold it about 5 months ago, but the problem is for a year I had 2 rigs. So can you imagine parking 2 rigs in LA instead of just one? Yeah. So there was
I wish you had known me, because I know several people who are looking for rigs right now.
Yeah, there was times when, so basically what I would do, this is crazy. People don't even know this. I've never talked about it, but I bought my Snap-on truck when I still had my B plus camper van. So when I got the Snap-on truck back to LA, I had 2 rigs. So when I moved, I had to move 2 vehicles. I didn't move one. I was parking 2 different vehicles on the city street. So what I would do is I would move my Snap-on truck, and then I would take an Uber and go back and get my B plus camper van, and then move my camper van and park it in front of the Snap-on truck. So I had 2 vehicles for a year that I was moving around LA. So when I hear people crying about parking 1 vehicle, I'm like, you're an idiot. I did it with 2 vehicles for a year, 2 24-foot vehicles for a year. And if I can do it with 2 vehicles, I know you can do it with 1. And I would move both of them every 3 days. I never stayed parked in the same spot. But like I said, I would take one, like sometimes there was one place I would move to that was close to downtown LA, and I would just hop on the blue line. I would take the Snap-on truck and move it to downtown LA in my parking place, and then I'd jump on the blue line going back towards Long Beach, and then I would get off and get the camper van and then move the camper van as well.
That made me tired just listening, Rob. Now, Stella's got it is a new Nomad, and Stella's wanting suggestions on where she should go. Stella, tell us where you're at. Well, I mean, don't tell us the exact city, but tell us maybe the state you're at, so some Globies can give you some suggestions on places to go. I would suggest you come out and go to Lollapalooza in October, then go on and hit Arizona for November, December, and January. But let us know about the general vicinity state-wise, not exactly your location, so Globies can give you some tips on maybe some interesting things to go. Janet says, I'm so new. Is Nomad News a channel or a website? Nomad News is a channel. And Nomad News is a channel where he gives updates on what's happening with nomads, and really informative, because sometimes you don't have time to watch everything. So you tune on to Nomad News. And you want to tell us you're starting a special on Wednesdays. You want to tell us about your Wednesday special, Rav?
Yeah, Carol, thank you. So on Wednesdays, it's going to be just for female nomads. So, and I try to premiere smaller channels. So if you have a smaller channel, I do some updates on the bigger channels, but on Wednesday for new female nomads that may be just starting out, that might have less than 1,000 subscribers, comment on one of my videos or email me at Nomad News TV, because I'm looking for female nomads just to premiere them on Wednesday's show.
Okay, so any female nomads out there who want to be premiered on Rav's show, Nomad News, tongue twister, Nomad News, what's your website? How can they reach you?
They can email me at nomadnewstv@gmail.com, or they can just subscribe or comment on one of my videos and let me know that they'd like to be featured.
Okay, so at nomadnewstv@gmail.com. Let me see if I can put that.
I wanted just Nomad News, but it was already taken, so I had to put TV on the end of it.
Okay, so I'm going to hit this. Let's see. I'm trying to do this. Let's see. I don't know how to do a banner. Oh, here, create a banner. Okay, I'm going to put that. Nomad. You guys, bear with me for a minute here. Nomad News TV at gmail.com. You guys are all with me as I'm learning this stuff. Okay. Add banner. Well, is it scrolling? Okay. There it is.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good job.
So any of you, this is the first time I've done it. So, hey, I'm learning. I got my comments off here. Let me get my comments back on. Okay. I knocked the comments off. Sorry, folks. But, it just went across once. But anyhow, Nomad News TV at gmail.com for any of you female nomads who want to be featured on his Wednesday special. I see.
Nomad Women Wednesday is what I'm calling it.
Okay, Nomad Women Wednesday. So if you want to be on there, hit him up or go onto his channel and you can make a comment on his comments and he'll find you. I see I have, what is it? Benson's Speed Shop. I saw we have 1978 Class C. We're going to fix up. Oh, wow. That's a classic. So you're going to be, I bet it's beautiful. Will be beautiful when you fix it up. Now, Benson's Speed Shop. So do you have an auto shop or something? Is that what you do? Piedmont is asking you, Nomad, what do you do for air conditioning? Do you have air conditioning, and what do you do to keep cool?
So my Snap-on truck, on my old camper van, there was a roof air conditioner that ran. You had to run the generator to get it to run.
Okay.
My Snap-on truck has an 18,000 BTU air conditioner that's built into the truck that runs anytime you run the engine. So it's a big diesel truck. So just like you see the 18-wheelers at the truck stops that are just sitting there idling, that's what I do. I was out in Palm Springs working about a year ago. It was the first job back during when the pandemic was going on, and I was out in Palm Springs, and I think it was 118 degrees. And I was just I just stayed at a pilot truck stop while I was working there, in my Snap-on truck parked with the big rigs, and just ran my truck 24/7. It took a little bit of diesel, but I stayed really nice and cool.
Okay. All right. I see Simply Pam. Hello, Simply Pam says Arizona's in the house. Welcome from Arizona. Hey, you guys are tough in Arizona dealing with this heat, but welcome, Simply Pam. Glad to have you in the house. I saw also Oopsie says she just went over and subscribed to Nomad's channel.
Well,
hey,
thank you.
I want everyone on here. Would you go over and subscribe to Rav's channel, Nomad News, and check him out, and especially on his Wednesday Women's feature. So would you go over and tell him Glow sent you? So everyone, would you go over and just give him subscribe to Rav. I am recommending him. So I would appreciate that. Please do that for Glow. And anyhow, so where else? Let me catch up a little bit. Kathleen Klein says, take it slow. Start with local parks, move on to state parks, then Corps of Engineers or BLM land. That's great advice, Kathleen. Great advice for Stella's Got It. By the way, Stella's Got It says she's in Miami. So anyone have advice for Stella? Stella, what kind of rig did you say you're in? And are you planning on doing a cross-country trip? Are you just going to stay in the Florida area or the southern area, maybe Florida, Georgia, around there? But if you're going to go across country? But anyhow, Kathleen had some very good ideas on state parks and then Corps of Engineers or BLM land. Now, I think also in Florida, there's somewhere it's Water District or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But it's something that's unique to Florida where you can park.
And I'll jump in, Carol. Okay. Florida can be kind of tough when you get down around Miami. A lot of people want to go down to Key West. Key West is not van friendly. Don't go down to Key West thinking you're going to stay down there for a week or two in your van, because you are not. They will run you out of there. They do not want you down there in Key West if you're a van dweller. There's nowhere to park, and they look for you, and the police will run you out of Key West if they find you dwelling down there. So don't go down to Key West thinking you're going to, just chill down there at the beach and just it won't work. I promise you.
So if you go to Key West, you got to be in a campground or something.
Yep. You have to be in a campground or a paid place to park. What you can do though, is the further north you get, the easier it gets. If you get up around Ocala or Central Florida, even like Fort Lauderdale, in between there, there's lots of parking. It's pretty easy up there, even off A1A. But if the further north you get from Miami, the easier it gets. But there's tons of places to park in around Miami that are industrial areas. You have to look for industrial areas or commercial districts, especially on the weekends, because in Miami, a lot of those places, especially the commercial districts, are closed. So you'll find warehouses out there that it's just a warehouse district, and they're basically abandoned on the weekends because nobody's working on the weekends. So you can park there the entire weekend and then just be gone on Monday morning when everybody comes back to work.
Okay. Janice Williams says, I'm going to subscribe to Nomad News. I think there are particular challenges for women travelers. I like the idea of having a focused conversation. Yes, there are some challenges for women, and especially women traveling alone, one of the things that I do when I'm traveling with my daughter, and my daughter always laughs at me, but when I get out of the van, I always call back, and before my daughter gets out, I'll say, ask your dad if he wants something to drink. And then my daughter, she rolls her eyes, but of course, then she gets out and she goes, no, he said he doesn't want anything. So really I always do things to give the illusion that I'm traveling with other people or that I'm traveling with a male, because I don't feel as comfortable with people know that it's a single female traveling alone, or even a single female and a teenage girl. So I do that. I do that frequently, even when sometimes, and especially if I have to stop for gas at night or something. But I try not to have to stop for gas at night. If I'm stopping at night, I'm pulling into somewhere that I'm going to be staying at. I'm shutting the door, covering everything up, and we're in for the night. Now, Piedmont asked, wouldn't running the air conditioner void the stealth? Not really, Piedmont, because Rav was saying that he was at a truck stop. I see Matilda is answering that. Yeah, he was at a truck stop. And when you got a truck stop, they're always running stuff, and you got people coming in and out. So you're not having to be really stealth at a truck stop. So to answer that, Piedmont. Janice says, yikes, Key West, great info to have. I certainly don't need police problems. Traveling Conservatively says, I think the thumbs up goes on the header. Thumbs up. Oh, say Traveling Conservatively. That's it. Kathleen Klein, thank you. Says wildlife management areas are other good places to overnight. Yes, they are very good. Stella says she's got a Winnebago Solis 59 PX
That's a beautiful
2021.
rig.
That is a beautiful rig.
Beautiful.
Oh my
You'll have
goodness.
you'll have no problem in that thing anywhere because it actually somewhat it resembles a commercial vehicle. So you should be good pretty much anywhere you want to park.
Wow, you started off with a bang, Stella. That's for sure. If you've got that Winnebago, having that Winnebago Solis, I would like to go north of Florida. Been here all my life. I'm going to a campground in Tampa. Okay, so north of Florida. Are you going to go north, and then are you going to go west? Or are you just going to go north, heading up north? Because there's some beautiful areas in North Carolina. I know there's a great campground in Myrtle Beach area. Now, you know who does a lot of camping, but they have a big fifth wheel, so they go to campgrounds, is Adventure Bandits. So you might want to check out Adventure Bandits. Unfortunately, you're going to have to check out some of their older videos. But they just bought a brand new fifth wheel, and they were at a campground, and a tree fell on it and just completely destroyed it. Thank God they got out of it. Wasn't that terrible? That was terrible. But look at some of their videos, and you will see some of the places that they go. Matilda says, good tactic, Carol. Yeah, that's what we do. Mama 2010 says, any Georgia van builders can be recommended. I don't know any Georgia van builders. Is there anyone on here that knows anyone in Georgia that builds out vans? Now, I don't know Mama DW, but if I do hear of anyone, I will certainly let you know. Hit me up. I'm sorry.
What you might do is check the Facebook groups. I would just search on Facebook for Georgia van dwellers. And if you find like a Van Life Georgia group, they'll probably know someone in Georgia that actually does build outs in the Facebook group.
That's a great idea, Rob. Great idea. Sue Kelly is telling Oopsie, I'm in White Mountains. Wow, Sue. I am planning to go back to White Mountains soon. I want to visit Oopsie and see Fee's homestead. Oh my goodness, how exciting is that? Stella says, we'll be in Tampa for Labor Day at the campground Lazy Days where I bought my van in Tampa, but I'm not going alone, LOL. Well, I don't blame you at the first, times that you're going out, not going alone. But if you want to find out about van gatherings, go online and just put van get-togethers, van gatherings, and there's an article I think it says the 7 best van gatherings. But if you just go on, there is a van gathering. It's supposed to be fabulous. It's a little expensive. But it's in Asheville. It's the Asheville Van Fest. But go in and put in Asheville Van Fest. That shouldn't be all that far from you, Stella. And there will be loads and loads of people there that you can meet, and fellow van dwellers. And I'm sure they're going to have what they're going to have is all kinds of people, and they'll probably have open houses. Now at the Gutted, and I told you I would talk a little bit about the Gutted van gathering in Colorado. It's going to be in, where is it in Colorado? I have to think for a minute. I can't think, but it's in Colorado. And what it's going to be a competition. It's 5 days. They're going to have three teams and 3 vehicles. They're having a Class B, a van, and a schoolie, and each team is going to build out their vehicle in 5 days, and then it's a competition to see who does the best job. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and there will be times when they'll have openings where you can go and they'll have viewing times where you can go and look at other people's rigs and get ideas. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's one idea of something in Colorado, but do check out Asheville, which is not that far from you, Stella. Asheville is in
Alamosa, Colorado.
It's in Alamosa. Okay, thank you. Alamosa, Colorado is the Gutted, it's called. And in Asheville, that's going to be in September. Also, the Asheville Van Fest is going to be in September. Oh, hello, LDS wife. Happy to be here. Thank you for coming into the house. Thank you for joining us, LDS wife. Piedmont says Asheville, North Carolina. Yes, Asheville, North Carolina. Sue Kelly says, "Oh gosh, I would love to meet up, girls. Well, hopefully come to Gutted or Quartzsite or Lollapalooza." Sue's saying, "Rav, have you ever met up with the Rainbow? Hold on. Have you ever met up with the Rainbow family? They're different than nomads." Have you ever heard of that?
They've been out to some of them have been to Schoolypalooza in Quartzsite, and they call them the Rainbow Family, and then they call them something else too, the Something Kids. But yeah, I've met a few of them out there. They usually bring like their drums. They usually have the drum circle at Schoolypalooza.
Okay.
Schoolypalooza, if you don't know, is the converted school buses. It's like RTR, but it's for people that are living and mostly dwelling in school buses.
Okay. Chef Santa Cooking Travel says, "Mama DW 2010, I'm in Roswell, Georgia, and I am selling my bus to buy a van. So if I hear anything, I will message you." Thank you, Chef Santa. Thank you. So, Mama DW, go over and check Chef Santa's channel. He's got a channel. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys, any of you who are creators, could you please put a C, because we're going to be heading out very shortly. Could you put a C so everyone in here can see that you're a creator and can go over and check you out? I'd like all my Globies to connect with each other. So can you put C's? Oh, Nettie Davy is in the house. Hello. Would you explain what's Nomad? Nettie is a old friend. Nettie, I'll let you explain. Rav, would you explain what a nomad is?
Basically, a nomad or a van dweller, what we consider nomads today, are people that are vehicle dwelling or living full time in a vehicle. There's part timers too, but usually the definition of a modern day nomad now, or a van dweller, are people that are living in vehicles, whatever type of vehicle they're living in, and they're moving around. You know, back in history, nomads were mostly native people or Native Americans that were moving around following buffalo herds. So now the modern day nomad are pretty much people that are vehicle dwelling and traveling around from place to place in their vehicles, living full time in their vehicles.
Thank you very much for that, Rav. Stella's Got It says she's a retired firefighter. Well, thank you very much, Stella, for putting yourself at risk for your community. Thank you. Freedom Dove. Hello, Freedom Dove is in the house. Welcome, Freedom. Says, "I've been to a rainbow gathering." I haven't. I'll have to check it out. Catherine Klein is giving some very good advice to Stella. Says, "Just listen to your instinct and leave any place you don't feel comfortable." Absolutely. Your instincts are your best way to keep safe. Many southern rest areas have security at night. Larger truck stops are an option. I love larger truck stops because there's always people coming in and out. You know, you're not ever going to be isolated there, especially starting out as a newbie. So,
and in certain, you know, if you're down south in smaller places, I mean, even like Dallas, still there are Walmarts that you can park at. Some of them, a few of them. Cracker Barrels also you can park at overnight. Usually, there are some businesses that you can just, you know, zip in late at night and then zip out early in the morning, and they're usually pretty friendly to you.
Right. Okay, so Freedom Dove is a creator. Chef Santa Cooking is a creator. Anyone else is a creator. Now, John Scherf says, "I'm a bicycle nomad." John, what is a bicycle nomad? In my mind, I'm thinking that you drive around the country on a bicycle and a backpack. Am I right, or am I just guessing? Piedmont Penguin says, "I wish I was a creator." Piedmont, give me a call. I love helping getting people started with a YouTube channel. This is the best thing going since sliced bread, being a YouTube creator. So hit me up on Gmail and I will be happy to give you some suggestions. Hi, Linda in Texas. Linda from Texas. Nettie says, "Okay, thanks. You're welcome, Nettie." Lindy and Lovey says, "Just living in a van in a town. So far, so good." Okay, Lovey, that's Lindy and Lovey. That sounds Freedom Dove says, "Hotel parking lots might work too." I have done that, Freedom Dove, but I don't go to like higher ends like a Hilton or Marriott. I go to maybe a Motel 6 or a Best Western. I found that I've been able to do that with a lot of success too.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't do it if there's only 1 or 2 spaces. I don't do it because I don't want to take up a space that maybe a hotel guest might need. But if there are a lot, oops, there's my alarm. But if I don't want to take up a space, but if there's a lot of spaces, then I feel comfortable. 1159 says hire carpenters, electricians, and plumbers rather do build vans. Okay, so Nomad News we know is a creator here. Lindy and Lovey is a creator. Okay. John Scherf says, yes, bicycle touring on a bicycle, but going to buy a van next year. Well, you know what, John? Hit me up on gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com. I'd love to talk to you more and maybe have you come up and tell us about your bicycle. Freedom Dove says, yeah, where is Donald anyhow? I don't know, Freedom Dove. He always takes a nap in the early afternoon, and I'm wondering if he just overslept on his nap. But you know what? I got to give him some grace. He is my younger brother, and he's got my back, so I'm giving him some grace. But I don't know where he is. I'm wondering the same thing, and I'm going to call up and give him a little grief, just a little bit. Well, you know what? It says, Stella says, what is your Gmail, Carol? It's gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com. So I'm not going to try putting it down because, you know, but it's just Glorious Life on Wheels, just my name of my channel @gmail.com. So, Freedom Dove says, any content creating, Piedmont. Piedmont, have you done any content creating? It sounds like no, that you're wanting to, though. Kathleen Klein says, I've even parked at police stations after going in and asking permission. Well, that should be about the safest place around, Kathleen, for sure. John says, will do. Okay, I'll be looking forward to talking to you, John. Well, Nomad, any final words on keeping safe as a nomad, you know, since you've been doing it for so long? Any final words on that?
Just check your surroundings. If you are dwelling in the Southern California area, I would say that it's very enticing to when you see a lot of other older RVs, because you'll see these RVs, just lines of them, and you'll be drawn to pull in and park next to them because you'll think, oh, if they can park here, I can park here.
Right.
My advice to you is don't pull in there, because there can be some shady people in those RVs, and so I avoid them like the plague. Just find safe spots by yourself. Check your surroundings, know your surroundings. A little tidbit of information or a tip that I will give you: when I pull into park somewhere, if I've never parked there before, if it's an area I don't know, what I will do is pull over. If I think it looks good, if I think it looks safe, I will pull over, I will park there, and I will sit in my driver's seat, and I will stay on my phone for probably around 15, 20, 25 minutes, sometimes even an hour, just to get a feel for the area, see if neighbors come out of their house and look at me if it's a residential area, or see if anybody notices me, see if cops are moving around, or just see who's moving around to give me an idea if I feel like it's an actual good area for me to park. And there's been times I pulled in and parked places and then said, this is not where I want to be, and start up and move on to somewhere else. So always be very aware of your surroundings. One other last minute tidbit I will give you is, when you find a place that's safe to park in an urban area, and you're going to think it may be a little cul-de-sac down at the end of a road and like a commercial area, and you're going to think, oh man, I'm down here all by myself, nobody's paying any attention to me, I can just stay here for days. Don't ever think that. If you think that, set up one night all night long and just sit in your seat and see how many people come up to your vehicle. You have no idea when you're asleep, but I've done this. I've sat in my driver's seat working on my phone with my window covered and see the police come up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm a night owl. I'm nocturnal. So I see the police come up and they'll look at my vehicle, check my tags. I'll hear them read my plates. So don't ever think that nobody's paying attention to you. Always have the feeling that you're being more or less watched, or somebody's paying attention to you. One
thing I would say, I don't usually park in residential areas. The one exception I make is if it's an area that has loads of apartment buildings, there's always 50 million vehicles parked on the street. So I do park there because there's so many vehicles and often vans and everything else. There's just so many that typically I find that that's a safe place to park. But as far as not getting a knock in the night, but if you go in a residential area that, you know, people are all parked in their driveways and hardly anyone parked on the street. But even if there's no one parked on, even if there are other cars parked on the street, I know every car that belongs on my block. So if there's a car that doesn't belong on my block, I'm looking to see, did they get out and go into a house, or what are they doing? So if I'm doing that, I know other people are doing that. But of course, I'm a little old lady, and you know what they say about seniors, we're nosy, but we know everything going on. But I'm telling you, if you're parking in front of someone's house, you're gonna, it's gonna, like, you have a huge bull sign on your back, you know, bullseye target.
If you're going to park in a residential neighborhood, my advice is to pull in like 11:30 at night when everybody's asleep, and be gone by 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the only way that you're going to get away with that. And in LA, what a lot of people don't realize, in LA and San Diego as well, it depends on the neighborhood, but LA for sure, a lot of residential areas have permit parking only. So you have to have a permit as a resident. You have to have a permit in the window of your car. And if you don't, you're going to get ticketed or towed away if you just pull in and park in a residential area. I avoid residential areas like the plague.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, you know, Kuleana, is it, I hope I'm saying it right, Kuleana Pacificana. Aloha from Oahu. Oh, I love Oahu. I love Oahu. I have been there many times, especially the North Shore area. Beautiful, beautiful island. Welcome, welcome. Karen Castle says, what about your local churches? Well, you know, local churches, you would think that would be the one place that you would be welcome. Unfortunately, I found that not to be the case. In fact, many local churches, they have chains going across their parking lots. So yeah, that's sad to say, but there have been a few. I asked for permission. I was visiting, I think it was Pahrump or somewhere, and I met a young man who was living in his car, but he was working at a company, but he was living in his car. And he was telling me how hard it was for him to find parking. And I had attended a church service at a church. So I met the pastor, and we, you know, chatted. So I did call and ask if that young man could sleep over in the parking lot, and he gave permission for that. So with churches, I think it would have to probably be with permission, like Freedom Dove, I said, is saying churches should be okay if given permission. Yeah.
Always look for places, like even if it's a residential or commercial, look for places where maybe a building was and it got tore down, maybe where a house was, but it got tore down and now it's just a vacant lot. A lot of times you can dip into those places and nobody will bother you because anybody owns that property, or the people that own that property are not there all the time. So I look for places like there's a place here in LA where I park where it's a row of apartment buildings, but down from the row of apartment buildings is a lot of curb parking and just a field. There's just like a drain. There's like a drain out there, and it's an empty lot. But once you get past the apartments, everybody parks down where all the apartment buildings are. It's like a row of maybe 6 or 7 apartment buildings. But once you get past the apartments, there's nobody parking down there because everybody's parking up where the apartments are. So I go down there like once or twice a month and park down there for a day or two and then zip out. And nobody pays me any attention because I'm parked, and I'm not taking up anybody's parking because nobody wants to park that far and walk back to their apartments.
And you heard
it's vacant curbside.
You heard what Rob just said. He goes there a day or so a month. He doesn't stay there for 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row, even though it's open. He only goes there. So no one's really paying attention. If you stay parked somewhere for 3 or 4 days, anyone who's in that area on a regular basis, they're going to notice you.
Yep.
So,
And they're
and
going
you
to start
want to,
asking questions. They're going to
yeah,
start asking the neighbors, "Hey, is that your truck over there? Have
right.
you seen
Yeah.
anybody coming? What's that? What
Yeah.
is that? Let me call. Let's see what's going on. I don't know where that truck. Has anybody seen this truck before? If you
Right.
just are there 1 or 2 days, they don't know. You might be visiting a neighbor. You might have a girlfriend in an apartment, or somebody you're visiting, or family. Maybe you're from out of town. But if you stay there, 3 days is the max. If you stay there for that fourth day, you're really pushing your luck. The number one thing I tell any urban dwelling nomad is, I know it's a pain in the butt, and I get it. Believe me, I absolutely understand it. You have to move. You have to move around. And that's your best friend. I mean, just moving around. And like in
Right.
Southern California, there's all these little cities. So you can just bounce around from one little city to the other. And one of the most glorious things about being a city nomad for myself is, when I first started being a nomad, I had lived in LA in Long Beach for 10 years, 10 or 11 years. But I'd never seen anything except for Long Beach, because I lived in Long Beach and then Huntington Beach. So I was just on that stretch of beach that's like 20 miles, but I'd never really been out and about. Now I cover this entire city. I've seen so many things in LA that I didn't even know existed. So many cool little areas and little neighborhoods that I didn't even know they were there. And I'd driven by them, 100 times, but I didn't know that was what was going on. Like the Arts District of LA. I've got pictures of me parking overnight right in the middle of the Arts District in LA. And before I started van dwelling, I didn't even know the Art District of LA. I didn't even know what it was. I would hear of it. I would hear people saying, "Oh, I was over in the Arts District," but I had never been there. But then when I go park there, I love it, because there's little coffee shops. There's always like art attractions and everything. And I'll pull
Right.
in there like on a Friday night and just spend the weekend there. And I love it. It's just like a cool little neighborhood. The same thing when I go down to San Diego. I'll park down by the port, and then I'll go to the gas lamp district. I'll ride my electric bike to the gas lamp district, or I'll go down to like Little Italy, all of these different places, because you get to move around, and it's moving around is where you discover these places. The thing is people are intimidated by moving, and they find a place they can park, and they latch onto that because they feel like they can't find any other places to park. But once you get out and you start actually moving around, you will instinctively start noticing places where you can park immediately. Like I
Right.
can go anywhere in the city of LA, and within 10 minutes, I can find a place I can park overnight and nobody will bother me.
That's so true. The more you move around, the more you become knowledgeable. But pro photographer was saying how sad it is that you've got churches that are only using the building 1 or 2 days a week, and the parking lots. That is sad. That really
I've
is
actually
sad.
I've thought of that myself. One of the times that was most confrontational for me was, I was parked in a church parking lot, and a lady came out from the church and was literally beating on my truck and screaming at me that I had to get out and move my truck. And I didn't pay her that much attention. I just looked at her, and then she's throwing a fit, and she's telling me she's going to call the police. I said, "Well, call the police if you want to call the police." And so that really PO'd her. And this is early in the morning. It was like 5 a.m. in the morning. So she goes back inside, and she comes back out with a man. And then the man is much more civil.
Yeah.
And so he's asking me, he's like, "Hey, we've got a thing going on here today. You can't be parked here." I said, "Yeah, that thing you got going on, I'm the assistant director. The video, the production that's going on, I'm one of the bosses." And they went, oh no. Because I was there to work. It was crew parking for our crew, and we had rented that church as a location for our crew parking. But they thought I was somebody just mooching a parking place for the night, so they came out to confront me, to run me out of the parking lot, because they didn't realize I was there to work. I was actually in my RV at that time.
I guess they've never heard of WWJD, but
Yeah.
but Ann Holland, I said something and I missed it, but I missed a couple of comments, but thank you, Freedom Dove, for giving me the time. I know we're way over, but you know what? I just hate leaving my Globies because it's a highlight for Saturdays for me, and especially having Nomad News on here today. But I'm going to read the last few comments, and then I have to go because I know there are other lives that are going on. Nomad Kathy Morrison, hello Kathy, says even nomads in the Middle East, really? If oh my goodness, I missed the rest of that. That sounded like it was an interesting comment. Kuliana Pacificana, I saw your earlier comment, Kuliana. Thank you so much. You were such a kind comment, and you're a North Shores girl. Oh yeah. Are you a surfer? I bet are you a surfer if you're a North Shores girl? Mystical Nomad Adventure says, great guest, Carol. Yes, he is. Jones Financials. Oh, I need to have someone on here giving some financial information for nomads. So hit me up on gloriouslifeonwheel@gmail. I have so many Globies that have so many diverse talents. It's just amazing. But I am going to have to go. Let's see. Kuliana says, I could understand if people are being destructive, but that's definitely not the case here. Yeah, I'd love to learn about nomads in Hawaii because I know there is a homeless population on Aloha. I've heard that there's a pretty strong homeless population. Is there also a strong nomad and van life population? I would think loads of people would love to.
There is.
Well, I would love for you.
I know a girl.
Let me just tell her real quick. I'd love for you to come on, Kuliana, and talk about it. Hit me up at gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com. I'm going to let Rob from Nomads have the last word, and then we're heading out. What was it you were saying, Rob?
I just want to say I have a friend of mine. She moved to Hawaii and bought a van in Hawaii. She bought a Volkswagen surfer van, and she basically just lives around the beaches and surfs and lives out of her van. And she's been doing it now for like 5 or 6 years.
Wow. Kuliana says, oh my gee, yes. All right, we have to talk. Oh, homelessness is huge there. I know, I have heard it, but I guess, I don't know why, because I would imagine that for like California, a lot of people from, especially in the winter, from say cold climates where you'll freeze to death if you're outside, come to California. But you can't just get on a bus or hitchhike or take a train or drive to Hawaii. So I'm guessing that most of the people that are homeless in Hawaii are from Hawaii. So I'd love to talk to you about that and about van life in Hawaii. So hit me up again. Jones Financial says that would be me. Hit me up at gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com. I would like to provide so many services, and I haven't forgot those of you who I mentioned it a few weeks ago. I have not forgot that I'm going to bring someone on at some point, hopefully within the next month, to show some tips on editing. It can't be me because I don't know how. I'm still learning. And in fact, I'm trying to hit Nomad News to show me on iMovie. So we're going to talk. But yeah, I haven't forgotten that, folks. So I am going to bring someone on. And I just would like to bring some other folks on to talk about things that impact nomads and all of us, whether you live in sticks and bricks, because me and Rob were just talking earlier today about how we both think that things over the next few months and next year are going to get ugly in terms of inflation, in terms of maybe shortages of products in stores. I'm not a financial person in terms of, I'm not a certified financial planner or anything like that. But I just think that we think now that things are settled down and Rob was saying today that he thinks it's not the end, but it's just the beginning of some hard times. And
my 7-Eleven down here doesn't have half the products on the shelves that they usually do. They're out of so many things.
Yeah, I think. Well, we got to go. It's been great. I love you all.
Thank you so much, Carol, for having me.
Thank you. Don't forget to go over to Nomad News, subscribe, and by all means, check out his Wednesday Women Nomads channel, or special rather, that's going to be starting, or actually it started last week.
Thank you, Martha Henry.
And who were your 3 that you talked about last week?
They were mostly just getting started. Just getting started. Yeah. But it was Wednesday's episode if you want to go check it out.
Okay, just the beginning. Well, we'll look forward to it. Piedmont Pinwin said, I thought about the economy might get challenging too. Yeah, I think it's going to. Oh, bye, Kuliana says, I can't say it. Mahalo. Okay, mahalo. See you down the road, everyone. Don't forget. Oh, I forgot. I have an ice cream video. Oh, that was a nightmare. I got the wrong thumbnail up, so I pulled it, but it had, almost 1,000 views. So I reposted it so it doesn't have those views anymore. So go over and check out my ice cream. 3 ingredients, very, very simple. But this Tuesday, I'm going to have an interview and tour with Cats, one of the 2 ladies that I interviewed from the situation with Oceanside parking for the city council coming up with all those rules. So don't miss the tour, and very, very interesting interview with Cats this Tuesday. I will see you all. Love you all. Thanks again, Rob, for being here. Don't forget, go check him out. Bye-bye, everyone.
Me, Carol. Bye, everybody.
Here.